Have you ever wanted to go insane and build a Homelab data center from scratch? Well, you're in luck. I'm going to show you how to do that today. We're going to be taking you along the step-by-step process I went through in 2022 to build everything. And this came from 12 hours worth of live streaming that I did. Yes, I live streamed the construction, walls, racking, putting it all together, everything. And I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that I knew back then. And this is a great time to release this video because I'm about to do a major overhaul, and that video will be out very shortly. And I think this is the right order to view them in. So I hope you're excited. Let's dive in. Powering down the rack, cutting the ladder, and disconnecting the electric, and then rotating this whole thing. If you come around to the back here, I'll show you that I already disconnected and decabled everything. All the PDUs are turned off right now. If anybody has any questions while I'm doing this, feel free to pop them off here. I'm going to start removing these servers. Now this is the hard ones here. Ooh, these are heavy. And I really wish I could just pivot this whole thing, but there's no chance that I could pivot it with all this weight on it. I don't even think I could lower this without stripping out some of the screws. And as you can see, we got some of the DE6600s here, the trays for them. We got all our networking up here, the KVM servers. So it's exciting, but it's also a lot of work. Now the UPSs, I'm actually just going to leave those in, but I'm going to go ahead and power them down and also kill the power at the breaker, which is right here. Now I can go ahead and kill each of the whips. And these guys will slowly power off here. And all of this is so that I can pivot this whole thing 45 degrees. I framed in over there some extra studs, put some sheetrock on it so that I've got a place to tie the wall. So the wall will come out kind of here. There'll be a door right here. It's going to go right to the edge of this. So the front corner of this is going to be essentially right about here. It's going to be at a 45-degree angle. And then coming out right about here will be another wall that'll meet up with that other 45-degree. That way we'll have a nice 45-degree. The AC will be able to directly hit the front of this, which will be very, very good. So like this is, I had to like just go ahead and drill and put my own attachment points for the PDUs in here, which was not easy to do, not something you really want to do. This was designed for the 2U PDU units. The one thing that's nice about them is that they all do bay together, so it's pretty good that they all bay up. They did come with all these cable management little attachment points here, and I actually have some more, so I probably will put in a couple more. But I was also hoping to get 2 PDUs on each one of these because I've got 6 total whip connections, and that would allow for each one to have 2, which is what you want because there's 2 different UPSs here, so that's 6 total connections. Ugh. All right, now just the back. And hopefully I can just detach this from the mount points, pivot it, and just break these ties, and we'll see whether or not I have to do a whole lot of adjustment. I think there's about 3 feet on each one of these whips that I left up in the attic, so hopefully I don't have to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Still, that's good. I knew I was going to do something possibly, so I made sure to leave all of the slack up there that I could. All right, we'll see. That's crazy. Oh, it's not going to work. So I got to redo the ladder also. But that's fine. I probably was going to have to do that, isn't it, right? And that guy was just going to throw all this networking ladder away when I bought this. He was like, oh, you want that? I was like, can I have it free? He's like, sure. All right. Almost done pivoting this thing. That's crazy. I can't believe that we got that done.
What, 2-inch?
Right. All right, so there, right there is going to be the edge of the wall where it comes down here. These wheels really don't go sideways, so I have to like back and forth and back and forth. Is there anything that's going to fall? But it needs to be on the other side of this. I wanted to still have the garage door able to go up and down without any obstruction. And it does look like I can actually probably do that if I pin this up here, because it only comes to right about here. So much more room in the garage though. Not bad. I'll do some like additional measuring on it, but I think this is actually pretty close to where it's going to set. So this is where we're going to have things framed out. Wall comes up halfway to here. There'll be a wall fascia that comes over here. And then from here, it's going to go straight back like this. So that right there is it. And that is going to be a lot of additional space. Be able to have a nice big table right here in the middle. I'm going to be doing the framing here. All right, so we've been working on some of the framing here. I've got the first board in. I did some marking, and I've got this board here ready to cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an angle framed here. It's going to fully surround this, and then I'm going to have just a little piece of rubberized shroud that touches the edges, keeps just a little bit of pressure on it, and that way, whenever that pressure's on it, it'll probably create a little bit of a like air seal. That way we can ensure that all the air is moving in this direction from that AC that's right over there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one that I've already got marked here. And this opposite edge should be used on the other one over there. So I've got the laser level already queued up there. I'm going to turn it on just to make sure that I get this perfectly aligned when I get this in place here. And we want to be right at 34 inches because we're going to put a 32-inch door in here. And so with the laser level, you can see that we can get this pretty close. I already have this marked, and you can see that I need to adjust it a little bit this way. It's not quite centered. And this one, I'm just going to hold my hand up here, adjust that. Make sure I got this right at 34. And then hold this edge as I pivot that. Line this up. And I split the difference here and marked each one of these. I'm going to drill the first. Mark on the ground. Got it. Since I'm going to be on 16-inch centers here, and I'm going to be coming in 3 inches for the door and the jack. And mark 16 inches. And 16 inches. So I'll put another one in here. Alright, so we've got the sole plate in here for this side now. I'm going to go ahead and frame in the header board that we got here. Now, this one is kind of a little bit tricky. I had to relocate these springs, and that was a little bit dicey. But I relocated them on the opposite side, so they're still very well supported. They're still pulling very, as much tension as they need to lower and raise the garage doors. But that created enough gap here so that I can actually build a wall in the middle, because I wasn't going to be able to do that prior. Right at 91 inches. Pretty good right there. Yeah, that sucks. I'm not. All right, and so I'm gonna actually have to cut like a little corner thing there and figure out how to attach it to this edge, and then I'm gonna put the exit side here out, and that'll go up to the top, and then I'll face nail that. That'll hold that in at the edge and give me a nice, easy rounded corner, so that when I put the sheetrock on, it won't be some crazy thing that I have to cut a bunch of wood or anything like that. All right. No, that edge one down there isn't going to be holding. That sucks. I'll just have to screw through it, push it up, and then have that somehow attached to this piece of metal railing. But that should be pretty darn good in there. Aside from right here. I knew that was probably going to end up happening at that edge. It sucks, but other than that, so that's not a bad start, and I think we're ready to actually get one of the longer pieces here. Right at 100. $99 3/4. And my camera wife is doing an excellent job. Very, very well. Very talented. Thank you for staying out here in this heat. I don't know what the temperature is in Austin right now, but it is not super comfy. Sweet. My diagrams have proven to be pretty wrong so far today, so like I had the scale of these guys wrong, and so like that totally messed up a lot of stuff there. But this guy here will be full of the hard drives. I don't have the elevation of it, but all right, and I need a scrap wood. 34. $98 3/4. $99.5. All right, and where's that 2x6 at? Does anybody else have an absolute disaster of a garage?
I hope so. This is a super dangerous saw also.
So there we got
I don't know, it's worked.
that's 37. All right. All right, so today we're going to check out the progress that I've made, and I've got the framing done. So there might be a little bit extra framing that I need to do whenever it comes time to put in the sheetrock. But I wanted to really quickly go over where we're at with the garage data center here. And you can see I've got the 3 racks in the middle here. They're going to fit just perfectly inside this enclosure that I've built. So they'll have a protrusion coming out here. Now, I got really lucky because when I ran the electric initially, I left extra service loop up in the attic. Always do this, whether you're running data or power. Well, if you're running power, you can't really, but if it's in conduit like this, wrapped up all the way, liquid tight, everywhere inside all the way, like literally all the way, it's all liquid tight, then that's fine to leave a loop of it up there, but you can't leave like bare Romex or anything like that in a service loop. But yeah, wow. I've got this all framed in. This little area here is not actually a door. This is where the washer and dryer are going to go. I have my little data cable tray going through there now. So that'll be actually framed around. I'm going to put sheetrock around all of this. And over here, I might have a mount point that I need to put in so that I can have a monitor here. I'm definitely going to put in a mount point here so that I can have a monitor here. But yeah, this will be a door here. This door will go into what is the essentially storage and rear access for everything. As well, I've got my water treatment facility over here. If you have a well and you know what that's like, then yeah, you can imagine a lot of stuff that you have in a typical well enclosure, but it's all that stuff in there. Pretty cool. I'm really excited here. So I've got all the servers over there. Got my AC over here. Man, it has been like so humid, but I got this all done today. And whoo, that was a 4-hour thing, but really glad that I got it done. Now I'm going to have to sheetrock it. I left a little bit, but not a ton of space here. So there's about an inch to an inch and a half on each side of this once the 3 racks are pushed forward, and that accounts for the sheetrock coming over the edge. And also up at the top here, I left actually a little bit more than that. Now, this is not plumb because garages slope down. So if you look at it, you might be able to tell that it kind of looks like it's tilted this way because it is. So that unfortunately means I'm going to have to unbay each one of these, re-level them, and then re-rack them together. I put the laser on it and there is a full 2U of slant here. So that is not going to be okay. You can see up here how extreme that is. It's pretty darn extreme. And then over here, you can see that gap. So yeah, that's one thing that's it's just gonna stink, but I'm gonna get through it. I'm really excited about this. I think this will really, once I put the canned lights in here, so I'm gonna have can light, can light, can light, can light, can light. And over there, I'm gonna move that big LED strip over into here so that I can have lighting back inside there. Really, really just not that bad. Turning this into a studio is actually, pretty quick. I think I've put somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 hours into it. As far as all the wood that I got, I mean, I did pretty good calculations because I only have 1 extra piece of wood. That was surprising. Usually I'm shy. So that actually worked out really good. All of the servers being over here, I mean, this is a lot of cores that we've got here. This is almost 1,000 cores of compute that we have that'll be going back in here. That is a lot of processing power. So definitely you see those 2 whips down there. Each one of those goes to its own disconnect. And if you remember the video of me pulling the 125 amp service in here, these are each 50 amp breakers that I've got. So each whip is on its own 50 amp breaker. And with 125 amps of service in here, these actually don't even come close to pulling anywhere near 50 amps. So these UPSs down here, these Eaton 9PXs, they're 11 kilowatts each, and it runs about 245 volts on the power inside this area. So sound off, let me know what questions you guys have. I have had a fun time doing this, but it has also been pretty darn exhausting because the humidity just is like super duper high. Really excited. I don't exactly know how I'm going to transition this into this, because this needs to get closed again and just not be barfing wires out everywhere. And I think I probably need to do something with the structured media panel. I had stuff in there before, but I probably need to reorganize it, redo it. Each one of these little outlets here has also some data and stuff like that. So there's like 6 or so of them on this workbench. It's a really good workbench. All this tools, all that stuff's going to get cleared off of there. So that'll make a big difference also, I think, as far as what the appearance of this place visually looks like. Got probably a week of drywall work to do. Yeah, scraping the ceiling, patching all those holes, pulling off all the sheetrock, pulling off all the pegboard, painting the pegboard, putting LED strips behind the pegboard, redoing all of the paint. This, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, the AC is staying, but I'm not sure that's going to stay like that. I might try to make that look better. If you got ideas, send off. Let me know what your ideas are, because that one at the moment don't really have a lot of input on. The other cool thing is if you look here, this all works, and this actually still is a functional garage door. So this is still a full 1-car garage that I've got over here. So let's take a real quick look at where the work's at here. So I got this nice little cutout so that all of the racetrack can go through here. I'm going to cut this, tie it back over, have it run this direction, and it should, when you have like the angle of the server coming here, just be setting right on top of it. So it should be a real easy jump to get the network cabling up onto that and then over into the house breakout panel, which is the structured media cabinet over there. Gonna have 1, 2, 3. So I'm thinking that from the storage layout thing that I did, that the storage arrays are going to go here. In the middle is going to be a lot of compute and stuff like that. And then over on this side, I'm going to have the networking so that it's closest to going over there also, and also possibly some general purpose compute and stuff like that. Another couple of things that I think are pretty interesting is just the level of what the fuck. Like, seriously, I bought 3 extra sheets of sheetrock. I don't know what to do with that. I'm going to have to pay to get rid of it now because they won't take it back. And like, that's fire code sheetrock. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Like, I've estimated bad before, but that's like the worst estimating I've done in a very long time. So for some reason, I always forget that I'm absolutely horrible at sheetrock work, and especially mud taping and floating. I am just abysmal at it. I always remember I hate it, but I never remember how bad I am at it. So I got the first one in. This corner actually came out pretty well. I used like this preformed corner stuff, and it's like metal and hard. So that one came out pretty good. That one over there, I still haven't done it. Instead of like putting sheetrock here, I think I'm actually going to put like trim wood. That's just going to be a like piece of MDF that'll just fit right in here, up there, and then over there. So thinking of a camera angle over there, you know, I think this is a good angle also when I have a table here to work on servers. Pull them out, set them down, talk to the camera, servers behind me. Seems like that would be an interesting shot. It will get better airflow as the, you know, airflow can just go straight and hit the discs and everything and keep it cooler. So maybe I can run less. I haven't figured out what to do about the airflow, like how to circulate the air or how to have the air go out the back or evacuate it outside. I don't want to just buy a big fan and evacuate the air and then pull in nasty air from, you know, little gaps here and there and then have like some sort of a problem with like cleaning. That wouldn't be an optimum solution. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll document it along the way, I'm sure. The insulation in the attic is R60 plus. I don't know. I had to wait up there to get some electric wire ran, and it's way over 2 feet of insulation in there. So I don't know. It's at least R60 up there. I just went crazy blowing it in up there because I was like, whatever. It does a really good job of dampening the noise. And if I close the garage doors and turn that on, it's cool in here in about a couple of minutes. This is actually, as stupid as it's going to sound, probably one of the best air conditioned places in the entire house as a result of drilling and filling the walls and blowing in all the insulation in the attic. Technically, it could be a one-car garage now, and this could be turned into something. I don't know what, maybe a room or something like that. I have no idea. You'd have to remove, you know, the door, and you'd have to re-stucco the outside exterior of that, and that's not cheap. And I don't know how to stucco, and it looks like it's very, very difficult to do actually. And really quick here, I'll just go ahead and pan real slowly and show you again, all of this crap is going. So all of that's going to be gone. Absolute massive amounts of clutter I've got here. Look at how many 8 terabyte drives I've got just sitting there. So yeah, today we're going to check out what I've done. I'm going to start racking, going to level things out, going to start putting servers onto racks. And yeah, so I guess I'll just turn the camera around here and kind of show you where we're at so far. So I did get all the plugs set, tested, working. I've got the front in here for these, and they kind of go in like that. But I need to cut on the backside, the pass-through up here. It's going to be really cool because then I can have a TV, because I actually framed in a 2x6 here, so I can put my TV mount here and then have an arm swing out, and I can have like a Grafana display on everything. And I got one there, and I've also got one over here, so I can actually have 2 TVs. You can see I did a fairly decent job on the trim, but the real thing is this, man, I did actually pretty decent. For somebody who's done nothing but a bunch of electrical work, I feel like I did actually pretty damn good. So we got a flat finish on the walls. So I think that's pretty professional looking. I don't know if you can see that, but like, I was very impressed with the job I did. I got to do like some caulking here, but I just got these in place so that I could actually get the racks in. We're going to get the 3 racks in. And yeah, so as soon as we get these in, we'll start setting this one full. The actual big ass JBODs, I am going to try to set one tonight, but I have a bad feeling that the rails I'm planning on using may not work. So yeah, this is one of them. You can see this APC rail set here. I'm actually really hoping that the APC rail sets will work, but if you see the front supports on these only go a little bit to mid rack. And while it might be okay for this one, and not really, to be honest with you, because I don't like it resting on the PDU. As you go up, I think it's going to have a tendency to want to camp backwards. We're going to find out. Squeezing them between here is going to also be something that'll be pretty interesting. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to... Where's the laser level at? So we got the laser level here, so we can make sure that when we're leveling these, they're all as best as we can. Now the cool thing is I had these whips with extra length on them, so they were able to adjust without any problems, really. Oh yeah, I gotta move that one first. And we're like watching this for the first time together. Like, I have not put these in here, roughed in even. So this is the first. Oh God, yes, yes, yes. Look at that. Look at that clearance. Oh yeah, you did good. Gotta get that a little bit more like that. And if I remember, I have 2 inches of clearance on this side and that side, so that should just be like perfect. I wonder if I should try out my... Nah, that's not that much work to get those fixed. Just go ahead with that. So garages slope down and out. They're always kind of graded that way. So you can see here, like this gap that we've got here, versus at the bottom there's none. So the levelers are going to have to be really adjusted a lot all the way from this side to this side. That's why I brought the laser level out, because I'm going to bay them together. I've got the baying kit stuff here. So I've got all the hardware for baying. And as I bay them together, I'll be sure that, you know, I get it as level as possible so that it's not like shaking or anything like that. Let's get that third one in. Okay, so the bottom will clear, but the top won't, so I can just sneak all the way back through that. That's really cool. I'm going to have to actually reposition this one further that way. There's like almost no extra room, actually. That's a little bit bad on me. I actually thought I was going to leave 2 inches on each side, but something hasn't worked out quite like that. Okay, so you go there. There. I guess the first level that I'll check is the fronts. I'll do that by running the laser down this way. So I guess I'll turn those off, and maybe you can see a little bit better the like laser edge here. So I should be able to just get everything from the right up to the front. That is 3/4 of an inch. That is 1.5 inches. I don't even know what you're going to be down here. This is almost 2 inches. Ooh. I wonder if these levelers are going to be able to actually make that happen. That is a lot. And I'm attempting to keep the laser line just right as close as possible on the edge here. So I got that one started there pretty good. I cannot believe that it's taken me a month to do this. I'm very disappointed in myself. I thought I was going to be done much sooner than this. A month was not something I thought was going to happen. But here we are. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can see like we're right there. And then we're like all the way here. So that's probably 1/4 of an inch that side needs to get raised up before I even begin adjusting this one. I really should have gotten the APC net shelters. That would have been a lot better. Not come to an agreement. Okay, so that's actually pretty close here. So just a little bit more on that side to get it up, and then we'll check the level on the front. Dude, this is going to be sick. This is going to be absolutely sick. Here. Yeah, we are very close, actually. Okay, I'm going to call that good enough for that, and then I'm going to adjust the second one up here. I just want to make sure that I've got these at least having contact. Yeah, I've got a lot of adjustment on this one to do. After I get like the garage doors like insulated, I'm going to cut these things in half. These little pipe things, they're already kind of cut in half, but I'm going to cut the other half of it. And then I'm going to like find a way to stick it on the top of the garage door so it creates a seal. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to try it. We'll see if it works. I'm going to take you guys outside and we're going to grab some metal shims. I don't know if y'all know, but I like welding, so I have some plate steel at most times just kind of hanging around. So let's adventure out here a little bit. That's a good one. So I think I need to some of this is thicker than the other. I think this side I might be able to get it there. So maybe I just wait and see here. Oh. Definitely did not have 2 inches on each side like I was thinking. I think I can get it. So long trim. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to lift that up though. All right. So I think these two together on the front, and then these are kind of big fat pieces also. Well, maybe just one. We'll do another one here. Yeah, there we go. Nice. All right. That one actually makes contact very decent. It's got a raise. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's got it. It's got it. It's getting there. I'm going to do some on the back, though, because it's kicked way, way far back. I don't know if you can see how far back it's kicked, but that's a ways back. So definitely have scraped the hell out of that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's heavy. Oh. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, hey. That ain't bad. We got a little bit more to go, but not that much. And actually, it will have clearance. That looks like whenever they're made together. So definitely did not have 2 inches of extra. So I definitely screwed up on that. You know, the irony is I had a hell of a time forming this corner, and I could have just like not formed this corner at all and just taken the trim right to it, it seems like. God, that would have saved me a ton of time. These corners were absolutely horrible because I suck at sheetrock. Dude, yeah. All right. Now, let's check. You gotta turn that light off also. Sorry, it's real dark, I'm sure, for y'all. Holy cow. This is super lucky. Like, this is just like in great alignment. Every U is like notched perfect here. So like 38, 38, 38, 38. Like that is freakishly good. I can't believe that it came out that good. That's really, really lucky. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I'm ready to go ahead and start banging them together now. This is like not the official bang kit either. Like there's an official bang kit. So this is like the good enough bang kit. And this is the view from the other side. This is not ideal. Like, so I can support 6 PDUs here. Like these, each one have 3 outlets. So I can support 6 PDUs here. And these racks just don't have enough space. And like you can see up here, I had to like sheet metal pre-drill and get those like put into place. That took a really stinking long time because drilling through this type of metal is very difficult. I mean, luckily I got the bits to do it. But there's no nice 0U PDU trays on the Dell 4220 line. So I was struggling really bad, and I really wish I would have gotten the NetApp APC SX 3350s that were on Craigslist. But that guy was not going to come down on price, and like I didn't want to spend. So yeah, but this is the back. This is plenty of clearance after I get all this stuff cleared out. So all of this stuff is either going to the dump or something. And then back in here, this door is going to go back on because we don't want any of the water treatment stuff to get like too hot. But yeah, that's the back of it. And keeping the sides on is a good thing. I'm excited to keep the sides on because I think that'll help alleviate some of the noise. I think the biggest thing is like we learned by turning it 45 degrees. So the house is like the areas that we're in, the kitchen, the living room, they're over there at a like 45 degree angle like this. So this offset here that this has is optimal. Having your like living area on the sides of where your noise producing hardware is, it just really works out way better for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like if it was facing front to back, the reverberations in here are crazy. If you turn it 45 degrees, the reverberations are much less. I think it's because it's hitting, like the noise is like hitting the walls here. These walls have noise deadening insulation in them. So we blew out the inside, all of the inside walls, and redid that entire like area in there. And when we did that, I put in rock wool, and it has really good sound deadening. When we did all of these walls here also, even like the header beam up there, like all of that has sound deadening. We didn't use the rock wool because you can't like get it anymore like on demand. You have to order it. But we got Owen Corning's, and it was actually a little bit cheaper, but it has a really good sound deadening ratio. I looked up some of the stats on it. So I'll probably have a storage shelf over here. I think I'm going to actually change up some of the actual hardware that's going in here. I mean, I can probably maybe get an R920 like this high, but like getting it like this high is going to be like a hell of a challenge because that's like 135 pounds. So I don't know about racking the R930s or R920s up this high. I mean, honestly, it is like stupid dangerous. And so I probably don't. So I probably need to revisit something that keeps them like chest level or lower because I don't want to blow out my shoulders for stupid reasons. I have 125 amp service. So dun, 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 dun. Each one of the whips is powered by here, and I've got a disconnect that's outside This is my new 20 amps for these wall sockets here. But those whips that you see going up there, one on this side, one on this side, and I left enough room on those whips because I've done this before. Not this exact thing, but I've done a lot of electrical work that I knew always leave a service loop hanging up there. So I had enough already ran and this super nice conduit, which, ooh, I love this stuff. This stuff is awesome. It's super hard to get wire into it. To be honest with you, it's a total pain in the butt. But like after you've got it there, like this is so bulletproof. I love this stuff. Liquid tight. This is going to be absolutely bomber, dude. This is insane. Like I can't believe that it's here. Let's start putting stuff on here. Actually, I need to get these out. These guys are not going to stay in here, so. These are the rails for the MD1000, which that is not a quiet disc shelf. All sorts of problems are. Wow. Wow, this is going to be an insanely tight thing. This is not going to work. Now, then it might be a bit of a stretch to think it was going to just work easily. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think they're going to have that much give. But give it a shot. It's not a lot of give. That's not a lot of give at all. Feels like it almost wants to. This side is not. Ooh. Oh. No way. These are really, really long. Yeah, because check this out. That's not even all the way in. I don't know if I can get it to go the rest of the way. That is all the way, but we got a problem there. Like, the problem is you know what? No, let's not call it a problem. Let's call it an opportunity. No, it's a problem. It was never gonna be that easy. Yeah. I kind of thought it wouldn't be that easy, but I can confirm now it's not going to be that easy. Oh, yeah. So I need to put the remainder of the trays in. Yeah, okay. I need to put the remainder of the trays in. It's just there's not enough room. Let me get one of the blower assemblies and show you what I'm talking about. I think this actually works without me having to adjust anything. So this blower actually, dude, that is amazing that fits. The blower goes like this, and that locks in. And the actual, I forgot this, the power doesn't plug into the blower. The power plugs into the two power supply units that are here. So they are like in the middle. So that actually could actually work. It's going to work like this. Aha. Done. Done. Dun, 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 dun. Sweet. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. Ooh. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Oh, okay. I got to put the rest of the trays in before I put those in because I have to put the slidey McBob things on here. These chains. Finger cutting hazard. If you ever get one of these, you're gonna cut yourself like a lot of times. You know, my super bikers don't have this problem. I can't get it in the hole. I don't want to put oil on it, but maybe I should put oil on it. As you can see, I've already messed up because that was supposed to be in the middle. Yeah. Why didn't I print this off when I brought this back here? Oh my god. Okay, so I've already messed up. That UPS is supposed to be over there. I don't know if that's functionally, if there's a reason for that, or if I just kind of did that. Yeah. So R920s, R930s do not run all the time. They do eat up pretty much one whole PDU, which is about, 8 to 10 kilowatts. So, I mean, that is probably why I had them all here, since I have a single PDU whip up there at the time. I've got a bunch of space here in the middle that is like, I've got the networking gear also wrong. Like the networking gear does not need to be in the middle. The networking gear needs to be over here on this side. I'm definitely not going to go above my head here. And in the middle here, I think I'll put the remainder of the R920s. And I was hoping to have all the discs over here on one dedicated unit, but that's clearly going to take more work. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. The little half rack's running away in the guest bedroom, having fun. So yeah, I think I am just going to focus on doing this. If I can get, what is this, a 920 or a 930? This is a 920, so I'll get this 920 off here. These are not going anywhere. These are, crappy JBODs. These are just going to go somewhere. Give them away. And then this guy down here is going to be the bottom unit here. So I need to think about what I put underneath this. I can actually put this a little bit further down, I think, without any issue, and squeeze a couple more. Because this is 8 U's, this tape library. And that's 260 some terabytes of LTO5. So it doesn't run very often, but I like to keep backups on it because I can rotate the tapes out, and I got it for like a crazy good deal. So I'll probably do that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start with this. Who the hell packages rails like this? God, eBay people, man. These B9 rails are super duper heavy duty, but look, I think I can fix it. Look at that. This one will be harder to fix. Shit. Zell-ready rails are amazing though. Absolutely love them. Ah. Nice. The heaviest piece of equipment, by the way. Without even anything remotely close to the heaviest piece. And I'm a dumbass, I put that on first. Nice. Dirty. R520XD isn't actually bad if you get the 2670 V2s. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys end up racking by yourself sometimes. Starting on one side with a lighter server, you can heavy stuff on the bottom. Oh my God, each one of these has 88, 90 V4s. There will be a lot of square footage between where the racks are. Oh my God, that looks so good. Oh my God. All right, now I'm excited. I didn't actually step back here and look. Check this out. Ooh. Ooh. That is sweet. I think that is going to be one hell of a sexy setup. I am really looking forward to this. I like it. I like it a lot. And like even from over here, like it's just awesome. Oh, that is so cool. This is going to be a really cool setup. And with the like 43-inch TV here, I'm going to either put the 55 or another 43-inch TV there. I don't know, one of those two. That'll be like used for Grafana, monitoring and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be really cool. And yeah, I'm excited. Like, I'm also exhausted, but I am excited at the same time. But this is going to be a cool environment for us. I'm going to set a big curtain rod up over there so that you don't see the, like it'll be like a black curtain. So you won't see that there's a garage door there and stuff like that. Maybe cut down on noise also. I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. Today, we're going to do a couple of tasks around here. We're definitely going to be getting the last JBOD up. We're going to blank this. We're going to finish doing some of the networking stuff that we've got over there. And I think we might even get to the point, maybe, where we're actually powering things up. I don't know if we're going to get there or not, but maybe. Could happen. These things have been absolutely monsters to get in here. They are incredibly heavy. Let's take a look around the back of it so I can show you some of the updates on what's going on. So I got some trim in, got the monitor in there. That's one of the Grafana dashboards here. And this is eventually going to monitor a lot of the stack and probably have it on like a rotation so it goes through the different machines as it's doing that. This one over here, I plan on having Macinaris usually running or watching TV, something like that. Let's go around to the back here. Watch out for all that stuff. We're on the third attempt here at getting the rack plan. I think this time we're going to have it. Most of the cable management put into place here. I've got a ton of the work done on the back ends of this. These guys, I would definitely say, if you're looking at getting JBODs, I would avoid these. They are very, very, picky about a lot of things. There's a lot of mechanical, like this and that has to be just minorly adjusted to make it work. And they are razor sharp, so you will cut yourself like crazy. I've had, I don't even know, many cuts on myself doing this. So this has been one of the things that I would say, if you're looking at getting some JBODs, be a little bit careful if you're going to go with these particular ones. I think some of the top loaders are actually going to be much more user-friendly than these guys have been. So I did also get the door in here. I haven't trimmed around this side of the door, but I did get a handle on it, and it closes very nicely. So I feel good about that. I have always had a hard time installing doors, so it's always nice if you get something right the first time. All right, so let's get started. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to start by taking some of these trip hazards and putting them in the back here. And these are the EMM controllers for these. And so these have the InfiniBand, which is what we're going to be using. I already tried the fiber channel, could not get fiber channel to work on these at all. And you can daisy chain off your SAS expansion off the back of this. And then they've got the power supplies that fit up on the top. Another option is you can get the SAS controller cards here and turn this into just a SAS normal 8088 driven machine. And that's essentially very much like a Dell MD3060E. Each one of these width discs will be right around 240 pounds, and the rack does have a rating that should support that, so I feel good about that. 2,500 pounds is the static load rating for this rack. I also put these up here. This is going to be cool. So these are like Monoprice sells these for 10 bucks, and if you have a rack, these are really cool because you can run cables through them from another, location, kind of like up and over and then down through these cable management arms. So I'll have the InfiniBand connections running over this and then down to each one of these. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And I got one over there also, and all the networking, including the InfiniBand switch, is going to be over in that bay as well. That one looks like it's missing its plate. And I've had a series of these that have had various issues. So definitely another reason that I would not recommend getting these is they're very fragile, the trays. I didn't realize this when I, started, but I definitely realize it now. These trays are not very robust. So they have a tendency to warp or to bend. They've got a lot of plastic. They've got one critical side little slidey thing, and if that thing is bent at all, or if it doesn't operate just perfectly, it's all sorts of bad, unfortunately. It has been a little bit over a month now since we started this whole project. I've been, I would estimate, putting 3 to 4 hours a day, almost every day, into it. And that has got us here, which feels good. The APC net shelter, love those. I had two in this garage when we first got the place, actually. And those are wonderful racks to work with. They've got so many good things. Fingers, it has the 0 PDU trays in the back. Beautiful. And let me show you why that's so important. So without 0 PDU trays, you're going to be left with the PDUs kind of hooked up like this. And I surface screwed these in, and this totally sucks. And as you can see, it creates a lot of places where it's pretty close. I don't like it being that close. So, you know, I'm going to have to like put some rubber bumpers here. I'm lucky I've got these really nice guards, so I can make sure that there's guards on it also at the same time, but I don't like that. And this is what ends up happening. You're not really even supposed to use, you know, the 0U PDUs for this. You're supposed to, you know, use the 2U PDUs probably. But yeah, these older Dell racks, I mean, well, these are good PDUs. I mean, I love these PDUs. These racks are not ideal. So I'm going to pay for that for sure. I don't know exactly how bad that's going to be. This guy over here, I can see it needing not just one PDU, but two PDUs to power it adequately. So each one of these banks can do up to, I believe it's 8 amps or 9 amps if you're going to run all of them at the same time and still stay at your 80% derating. So that's close. That's very close. I mean, initially, I'll only have 2 of them running full time. The one thing that is nice here is you just kind of slide it out and open it up. I mean, that's easy. That's super easy. And I think I got some discs over here that I can just throw some in. Set it in. Slide it back. It's very easy. It's got like this rubberized bottom on it. Yeah, I leveled this very well. This is like super firm in place. Like those aren't really going to fly around or anything like that. So, and then you can just uncaddy them really quick. So that'll really speed up things a lot. They're definitely a lot more than I thought that I was biting off at the time. I thought they were going to be very easy. These are definitely not very easy. As you can see, we drill and filled. And so I still need to put pieces of wood in here and put these plugs back and then, you know, let it back up and stuff. So we did drill and fill all of the walls because garages in Texas don't have insulation in the walls. I'm not sure in other states if they do or not, but definitely in Texas, they don't. So we did that. We put in this 24K BTU window AC unit. So that's pretty big. We also have this little Insignia 8K unit here. It kind of stinks, actually. It's not really good. It's a single hose. And you can see, like, I got the single hose still attached to the cat door over here. But I hope to not ever need to use this. We were running, before the JBODs, all of the R920s, not R930s, and 3 or 4 servers and all the networking. So we were running, a lot. And it really wasn't an issue for this to keep it cool. And one of the big things that is, I think, better about it this time than what we had before is the orientation before was kind of like this. And now, if you're looking at it from like where the AC's at, like the AC actually hits the front of it like perfectly. So I think that's going to be really good. I think that'll help it out a lot. Now, what happens with like the heat out of the backside is the like next question. And yeah, I mean, in the past, I've put fans up here and had them try. I say try because they didn't, but try to pull like air out and it didn't really work. Like they were just box fans, these box fans here. And so that didn't work. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is actually try to circulate the air in a controlled fashion from in here back into here. So it can cool a static load that is not changing. That's the only thing I can think of that won't dramatically change the balance of like the air. The other option is maybe I can come up with like a drafting system from outside air to pull in filtered air from outside and then at the same time evacuate air. I don't know. Maybe at that window. That seems decent, like an idea that could work. I also thought maybe I could, you know, run this thing up and over and like have it go into that area and then put like a, you know, really strong fan and have like a several hundred CFM of pressure pushing out. I don't know about that. Like the reason I don't know about that is I would have to have the damper system. These APC rails. Oh, that's good. I've got my rack. And so I plan on monitoring temperature on the Grafana dashboard. I think that's probably one of the things that I'll monitor the most. Disk temps, and also maybe some of like, if I can create aggregate information about how many CPUs total, which ones are running, which ones are up, which ones are off. Probably create a Proxmox cluster for most of them. And I'll probably even put the R920s and R930s in the Proxmox cluster. Maybe. I don't know. I'm a little bit meh on it. But just not have them be part of the quorum. You can actually do that in your config. And that way you won't have a problem starting or stopping if, 8 machines are off, because that would definitely affect your quorum. One more. And it's a total pain on this also because, like, I can't get a screw gun back here as a result of this PDU being in the way. So I, like, have to get this, like, small little screwdriver in there for all the work on this side. That's a real pain in the butt. Luckily, everything else is Dell, so, like, I don't have that many other things that I have to screw in. And so the other thing that I do is I tighten up this side completely. This side, I'll leave it a little bit loose, and that way, after I get the JBOD jammed up in here, I can come back and tighten it down. That way, it'll expand out a little bit on the sides to allow it to fit in there nicely, which it seems to have to do to be able to allow it to fit. It's a little bit sketchy. And like literally I can see that this is bent up here in the middle just a little bit. So I'm trying to adjust it. And so when we got the load, some of them had been strapped, and they like freaking strapped the absolute hell out of them, and so they compressed. That's pretty close. It's better than it was. I hope that's good enough. Yeah, so when they compressed like that, they're not straight. So that even bent some of the trays on them. So one of the pallets, I'm pretty sure the first pallet that we opened, those were just, the fit on those was absolutely garbage. I've got trays and trays over there now that are just like, I would say they're lost causes kind of. That I put this in backwards, son of a bitch. I put it in upside down. This is the second time I've done this also. So. Little light thing goes on that side. Get it there. If this isn't the craziest JBOD racking you've ever seen, I don't know what else will be. There's a couple pieces that I think I forgot. Yeah, I anchored this in, and I need to actually put all the trays in, put these little like arms in. These are like these little like snake things. They are very difficult to get in right, and you can see here I've got one of them in wrong. I've got one of them kind of in wrong. This is how they're supposed to like profile in there. And getting them to actually do that when you stick them in is incredibly difficult to do. And like, this is all super sharp sheet metal in here. So like everything you do, you're going to cut yourself up. So I don't want to cuss that much for you all at this moment in time. But this one up here, I'm definitely just going to have SAS in this so that I can use this really quickly for doing the caddy on caddy operations. Juicy hard drives. That's a lot of hard drives there. So I found like foam pieces and I stuck in here. Like there's foam. So it probably won't rattle whatsoever because I did that on the tops and you can't even see where I did it on the sides. But I don't know. I was supposed to have way more space than this on the sides, like way more space. This angle is also off by like a couple of, I would say 10 degrees easily. Up here, the clearance was fine, but the calculations on this angle here and stuff, I got a little bit crazy there, clearly. And so the Brocade ICX 6610, really cool for a couple of reasons. First, you got 8 10 gigabit SFP plus ports up here. You got 48 gigabit. These can be PoE also if you have the PoE, which is indicated by the 610, the ICX 610, and then the 48P, if you can see the P at the end there. Like usually I would rear mount all of my networking stuff, but I'm actually going to mount like pass-throughs so that the cabling can just be like passed through. But yeah, this is actually like got really great status indicators. The other thing that's like super bomber about this is that if you come around to the back here, you've got FDR compatible 40 gigabit slots. And so 2 of these can break out to 4. So you get 8 additional 10 gigabit slots and you get 2 pure 40 gigabit slots. That's really cool. Okay, the next switch is just getting stacked on top of it. Yep. Where are these going to line up? The middle. In that one. Huh. Sweet. So I have not followed my plan. Ooh, it looks nice and professional whenever you do that. Oh, I can't wait till I get the discs in here and the discs in there. Oh my God. Very exciting. And I've got the KVM here also. It's not a new KVM, but I've been thinking about using this to actually connect to a kind of more advanced IP KVM, which are pretty cheap, the Avicents. And I just happen to have, what's not cheap is the dongles. They're like PoE dongles. Those are not cheap at all. But I actually have a freakish amount of them left over from an old Avicent 2016 that I had, which I sold the Avicent 2016, but I did not sell the dongles with it. And so I might actually go ahead and use that, bring that back in, and then use this as the keyboard and monitor for it. I think you can do that and then control everything through that is through the iKVM. So that's pretty cool. I have not figured out, or racetrack, or whatever you want to call it, I have not figured out how to branch this into here. I was thinking a 90-degree, like 2-inch piece of PVC might work. I do have more of the ladder, so I plan on using more of the ladder. This is like so close, but also just like an inch shy. So I don't know exactly what to say about that. My goal is to have this be the best networking job I've ever done. got a low bar to make that happen, so it should be doable, I think. But definitely need to figure this out. So you made it to the end of this video. Congratulations! You're now just as insane as I am. And if you want to pick up on the next video that is logically following along in this series, that is Insane Homelab Networking. And that is a very deep dive, much better production quality. Again, this was shot with live streaming in mind, and the quality reflects that because live streaming sometimes, when you're mobile like this one was, gets pretty sketchy. But the next upcoming video that we're going to be releasing on the rack redo is going to be incredibly more detailed and well produced. And I can assure you, you're going to want to check that out if you liked watching this. So make sure to hit like, subscribe, and if you are interested, you can consider joining as a member, and a big shout out to our current members. I hope you've had a good time and learned a lot. And like I said, if you want to pick up with the next logical video in the series, jump over to Insane Homelab Networking. And I will see you guys next time.